Now, according to plantbasednews.org, it's been revealed that more than half of vegan daters would not consider entering a relationship with a meat eater, guys. On top of that, around 12% would refuse to date a vegetarian due to their intake of animal products. Vegetarians are almost as fussy when it comes to meat eaters, with 39% saying they would not date someone who consumes animal flesh. Ladies, how important is it that you have the same lifestyle or habits as your mate when it comes to dating?
See, this is an interesting question to ask in LA, because in LA, not everybody does it for moral reasons. People do it for health.
Yeah.
So I think when you do it for health, you don't care that you're gnawing on ribs and I'm over here having a cauliflower steak.
Some people might care.
But there
not
are
as much
people,
though. But morally,
Yeah.
when they're watching you and you're eating an animal that's like a soul, they can't do that. So I understand that.
My makeup artist, Ari, is vegan in that way. And it's crazy because I just started eating plant-based again because of our conversations. My sister also raised her kids vegetarian. And so there are moments where she says things and I'm just like, oh, morally, this is like so not okay, which got me plant-based again. And so now I walk around just doing that to my husband all day.
Yeah. Because he eats meat.
He does, he is a meat eater,
Yeah.
but crazy enough, even though he's not, he would definitely not consider himself vegan or plant-based, he's definitely done it a lot more just from our conversations. So I think the biggest difference is that we didn't start off that way. When I met him, I wasn't vegan and I didn't eat plant-based.
Yeah.
So expecting someone else to do that sort of a leap of a change is different. And again, when it becomes an issue of your moral compass, I think it's a lot more difficult to do it. I think people have the same conversations with people's beliefs or religion and things like that. It just depends on what you can deal with and what you can't.
Yeah. We grew up eating meat in my family. I mean, that was the thing, rice and beans and meat every day. If my brothers didn't have meat, they felt like they weren't full. So, but the thing is, I feel like in LA, things have changed a lot. I remember I was going on a date with a guy and it was our first date. And he said to me, can we eat at my house because I'm a vegan now? And I thought, there's restaurants that sell vegan. Like, I don't need to come to your house to have vegan. But we went to this place called Crossroads, and I had never eaten.
Incredible.
Chicken
the
waffles.
food was amazing. Like, the mac and cheese tasted like mac and cheese. I mean, it's incredible. But I don't know if someone was vegan and he was in my life, like, every day, if I would feel comfortable, because now I got to learn how to cook so that he can eat. I mean, I think it's a lot to it.
I think it's a big moral question of like caring for animals and our planet Earth and what is your green print. So I think people are just starting, I think you should have grace. I think that's the key, is having grace for people who, like for him to completely put that on you and you were raised a completely different way and you've lived your whole life eating, you know what I mean? So I try to have that grace for my husband, but there are moments where I'm like, morally, this is so wrong.
Well, I mean, okay, I remember Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace.
My favorite.
He would say that all of this talk about vegetarian and veganism is a first world issue. Because they're a third where the meat is, in some countries, it's their main staple.
Right, exactly.
So I just want to say that, because I think a lot of people, when you're dating someone, they do want to make you feel guilty about that. When, you know, technically, it's what
survival.
And so, but we live in times where we're in first world and we can make choices. So based on that, I would say if it's a person and it just bothers them a lot, I wouldn't date them, and I can understand why they shouldn't. You know, I really can understand that. But also, you have products now. Like, if it's just for health, there's so many substitutes and meat substitutes. You can date somebody, and they could be the vegan, you could be the meat eater, and y'all can still be together. I mean, love is love. And eventually, if that person, you know, if you
they take interest.
If you love them enough.
They take interest. They love you so much that they're interested in the things you're interested in.
And you may influence them. That's what I was looking for. You might influence them to become that.
Which has been the case in our home, for sure.
We went to a wedding. It was all vegan. And during the reception, we ordered 6 pizzas.